Very good evening, dear friends. This program is meant for the students of LLM final year course, paper 7, Corporate and Securities Laws, branch 4, Usmania University, Postgraduate College of Law, and also, of course, the private candidates. Friends, this particular program today pertains to some of the issues under Unit 4. One among Unit 4 is the non-banking financial companies, NBFCs. And I have already given a brief introduction earlier. And in continuation, I will deal with some of the types of NBFCs. Before that, you may recollect non-banking financial companies, also called NBFCs, are those companies which carry finance business without carrying banking business. This is the most important aspect. And then they are not banking companies, they are finance companies. Banking companies can carry both banking and finance business, and multifarious activities could be taken up. Whereas NBFCs are concerned, it is restricted to only the finance aspects, and they are also companies registered under the Companies Act, or they could be cooperative societies. And then this is what I have already in fact explained so earlier. Then I also told you that sections 45H to 45QB of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 contain the relevant provisions on the NBFCs. And the definition part also I have told you to read section 45I clause F of the RBI Act 1934 on the NBFC. Then friends, remember the regulator for this particular NBFC is the Reserve Bank of India. I have been telling you each time about the regulators. The regulator for corporate affairs is the MCA, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. The regulator for securities is the SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Then the regulator for NBFCs is the Reserve Bank of India. In fact, the adjudicating bodies are different again. With regard to the adjudicating bodies, corporate affairs are concerned, it is the NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal, followed by the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. The final channel is Supreme Court. There is no High Court intervention there. If it is the case of securities, then against the orders of the regulators, it is challengeable in the SAT, Securities Appellate Tribunal, and against that appeal lies to the Supreme Court. High Courts again won't come into picture. Whereas the foreign exchange regulations are concerned, their regulators or the regulator of foreign FEMA is the Reserve Bank of India, and the adjudicating body is the Appellate Tribunal. Now it has been taken to the Smugglers Act. It is merged. In the same way, you have to see the regulator here in this particular connection happens to be the Reserve Bank of India, and the adjudicating body is concerned, it is the appropriate High Court. Then friends, I have already given you the reference of Supreme Court in Peerless General Finance and Investment Company Limited versus RBI, reported in 1987-1 SCC 424 with regard to the deposits. And I have already covered the various definitions pertaining to this financial institution, NBFC, deposits. And then now we had to carry the further discussion. I'm sorry, last time when we were discussing about the broad categorization of different types of NBFCs, then the technical problem, we could not continue. Now I will continue. Friends, there are different kinds of NBFCs. One such kind is called AFC, that is Asset Finance Company. This is a company which is a financial institution carrying on as its principal business the financing of physical assets supporting productive economic activity such as automobiles, tractors, lathe machines, generator sets, earth moving and material handling equipments, moving on, own power and general purpose industrial machines. That's why it's called AFC, Asset Finance Company. Now the second kind, friends, is the IC, that is the investment company. That means which is financial institution carrying on its principal business, the acquisition of securities, because it is investment company. Now the third category is the loan company, LC. That means any company which is a financial institution carrying on as its principal business the providing of finance, whether by making loans or advances or otherwise for any activity other than its own, but does not include an asset finance company. This is what you are supposed to note down. Then the fourth one is IFC, Infrastructure Finance Company. IFC is a non-banking finance company which deploys at least 75% of its total assets in infrastructure loans. It has a minimum net owned funds of rupees 300 crores and has a minimum credit rating of A or equivalent and a CRAR of 15%. Then, friends, we will go to the fifth category, systematically important core investment company, that is called CICNDSI. It is an NBFC carrying on business of acquisition of shares and securities with satisfying certain conditions like number one, it holds not less than 90% of total assets in the form of investment in equity shares, preference shares, debt or loans in group companies. Second one, its investments in the equity shares, including instruments compulsorily convertible into equity shares within a period not exceeding 10 years from the date of issue, in group companies constituted not less than 60% of total assets. C. It does not trade in its investments in shares, debt or loans in group companies, except through block sale for the purpose of dilution or disinvestment. It does not carry on any other financial activity referred to in section 45I, C and 45IF of the RBI Act, except investment in bank deposits, money market instruments, government securities, loans to, and investments in debt instances of group companies or guarantees issued on behalf of group companies. Then, friends, its asset size is 100 crore or above, and finally it accepts public funds. These are all the conditions meant for this particular type of category called systematically important core investment company. Then the sixth one is infrastructure debt fund. Non-banking financial company, IDF NBFC, is a company registered as NBFC to facilitate the flow of long-term debt into infrastructure projects. IDF NBFC raises resources through issue of rupee or dollar denominated bonds of minimum 5-year maturity. Only infrastructure finance companies can sponsor this particular kind of companies. The seventh one is NBFC MFI, non-banking financial company, microfinance institution. This is a non-deposit taking NBFC having not less than 85% of its assets in the nature of qualifying asset which satisfy certain criteria. There is about 5-6 important criteria. Number one, the loan disbursed by an NBFC to a borrower with a rural household annual income not exceeding 1 lakh or urban and semi-urban household income not exceeding rupees 1,60,000. The loan amount does not exceed 50,000 in the first cycle and 1 lakh in subsequent cycles. Total indebtedness of the borrower does not exceed 1 lakh. Tenure of the loan not to be less than 24 months for loan amount in excess of rupees 15,000 with prepayment without penalty, loan to be extended without collateral, aggregate amount of loans given for income generation is not less than 50% of total loans given by the MFIs, and the loan is repayable on weekly, fortnightly, or monthly installments at the choice of the borrower. Friends, let us now take up the eighth kind of company, NBFC, that is a non-banking financial company, factors, NBFC factors. Factor is a non-deposit taking NBFC engaged in the principal business of factoring. The financial assets in the factoring business should constitute at least 50% of its total assets, and its income derived from factoring business should not be less than 50% of its gross income. Now, friends, the ninth category, mortgage guarantee companies, MGC. They are financial institutions for which at least 90% of the business turnover is mortgage guarantee business, or at least 90% of the gross income is from mortgage guarantee business, and net owned fund is rupees 100 crores. Then, friends, there is one more category. In fact, pertaining, there is a last one, that is NBFC, NOFHC. NBFC, non-operative financial holding company. This is a financial institution through which promoter groups will be permitted to set up a new bank, and it is wholly owned non-operative financial holding company, which will hold the bank as well as other financial services companies regulated by RBI or other financial sector regulators to the extent permissible under the applicable regulatory description. You are advised to see the NBFC's acceptance of public deposits, RB directions 1998, and then subsequent circulars. This is the base. Subsequently, they were all amended, upgraded, and other circulars, orders of central government, RBI in this regard, from time to time modified pertaining to this particular non-banking financial companies. Then, friends, in fact, there are application of certain legislations to NBFCs. What are those legislations? Now we will see. What is the topic here? What are the legislations covering NBFCs? The first legislation is the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, sections 45H to 45QB, then 58B to 58H. Section 45IA says every NBFC must be compulsorily registered with RBI. 45IA of the Reserve Bank Act is also relevant with regard to registration, and it can the Reserve Bank under this provision can cancel the certificate of registration if the company ceases to carry the business. The RBI powers are narrated under sections 45JA, KL, 45MB, 45MC, 45M, and 45NC. Sections 58B to 58G contain the provisions on levying penalties for violation of the provisions of the Act. And 58E of the Reserve Bank of India Act, the RBI is empowered to take cognizance of any offence punishable under this Act. And a complaint must be given in writing by an officer of RBI authorized to a court, and no court other than that of a metropolitan magistrate or a judicial magistrate of first class or a court superior thereto shall try that particular offence. Friends, there are other legislations also. The Prize, Chits and Money Circulation Schemes Banning Act 1978, the Chit Funds Act 1982, the NBFC's Acceptance of Public Deposits RB Directions 98, NBFC's Prudential Norms Reserve Bank Directions 98, Miscellaneous NBFC's RB Directions 77, Residuary NBFC's RB Directions 1977, NBFC's Auditors RB Directions 1998, and Know Your Customer Guidelines for NBFCs. The depositors are advised by the Reserve Bank of India to take certain precautions before placing their deposit with the NBFCs. And then they are number one, the NBFC is registered with RBI first and authorized to collect deposits. Then the NBFCs have to prominently display certificate of registration. And then the maximum interest rate is fixed, it changes from time to time. Depositor must insist on proper receipt for every amount of deposit placed. In the case of brokers, agents, sub-agents, the depositors should satisfy themselves that the brokers, agents are duly authorized. And the depositor must bear in mind that public deposits are unsecured and deposits insurance facility is not available to NBFC deposits. And the RBI does not accept any responsibility or guarantee about this for present position as to financial soundness of the company, which is an NBFC. So, well, friends, with this background, you please go through the website of the Reserve Bank of India pertaining to NBFCs, which is available in the RBI website, and then study further, and then further supplement. Examination point of view, whatever we have discussed is more than enough. So, we will again meet sometime later with other lessons under Unit 4, and then we will deal accordingly the appropriate subject matter. Thank you very much. Good day. Bye.